Hello and welcome back to another episode from Driving Britain. Today we're going to be looking at ridiculous products that are going to destroy our faith in humanity, or apparently so.
Take this rubbery pair of lips for example, which allow you to look like a blow-up doll while simultaneously toning your face. Or so they claim. The device simply requires you to chew on the sugar pink mouthpiece like a teething child for 3 minutes a day and promises amazing results.
This is a video put out by the YouTube channel Be Amazed, their link's in description, and they're claiming that they're going to be showing us products that are going to destroy our faith in humanity because the products are just so stupid. Well, let's see. What sort of things are we going to get? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea, but I know that they've probably been onto somewhere like Wish.com and got the best or the worst of what they have to offer. If anybody's ever come in contact with anything from Wish.com, then they know that they could be in for some pretty interesting devices. Right, let's get straight into the video.
Online shopping makes things a whole lot more convenient, but it also means there are some seriously weird products available at the touch of a button. From terrible as seen on TV items to celebrity endorsed disasters, here are some of the most ridiculous products you won't believe actually.
Do you still get a lot of those as seen on TV type products advertised in your main superstores in the US and across Europe? In the UK it used to be a really big thing. You'd get TV screens and a big advert playing saying as seen on TV and stuff like that, but we don't really see that anymore. Is that still common in your countries?
Jade Yoni Egg. Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness brand Goop is an epicenter for laughably absurd products, and recently it's been hitting the headlines for all the wrong reasons. The company has promoted so many bogus claims about its egregiously priced beauty, health, and lifestyle products that it's hard to keep up. One of the most entertaining claims surrounds the mythical Jade Yoni Egg, which costs $66 a pop. What do you do with these smooth egg-shaped crystals, you ask?
To think.
Well, if you're a woman, Paltrow suggests you stick them where the sun don't shine. Literally.
Insert the jade egg in their lady parts.
Right.
And to help tone the pelvic floor.
How does it help do that?
I don't know. I need to start my jade egg practice.
Yeah, you don't know because no such thing actually exists. You just made it all up.
Gwen might not be so sure, but Goop has claimed that inserting the egg into your hoo-ha can have a whole slew of miracle benefits, including increased bladder control, pelvic floor strengthening, and even improved sex life. Sounds kinda wacky, but worth a try, right? Well, according to medical professionals, definitely not. Gynecologists have warned that besides the obvious risk of the slippery egg getting lost or stuck, sleeping with one, and like Goop suggests, could even lead to deadly toxic shock syndrome. In fact, the company was slapped with a hefty $145,000 fine in 2018.
I know that her company has been behind quite a lot of really ridiculous products and claims, so to see her on this list, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Have you ever come across any of her products or seen them advertised? List in the descriptions which ones you've come across, because every time I hear about something to do with her or one of her companies, I come across something even more bizarre than all of the other things that I've heard. So I'm looking forward to seeing which ones you come up with.
For spinning totally unsubstantiated tales about what is essentially an overpriced ride.
Oh yeah, let's not kid around. They're absolute rubbish. Most of the stuff that she comes out with are just bogus nonsense claims. But she's not the only one. They're all jumping in on the bandwagon of creating stupid products.
Rock. So I'd save your rainy day pennies for now. Body Vibe stickers. Another great example of Paltrow chucking money at what could easily be an elaborate April Fool's prank are the life-altering Body Vibe stickers. These stickers, which are decorated with enough faux hipster illustration.
Okay, I don't know what they're supposed to do, so let's have a guess. Body Vibe. Send mystic vibrating vibes throughout your body until you're on the peak of health and you can achieve all of your life goals ahead of everybody else. Is that what that 3p sticker does?
To make you look like a walking Tumblr dashboard aren't just stickers though. There are some wacky health claims sprinkled in there too. This is a Goop approved product after all. The Body Vibes
I missed one of the things. They also make you look like a 5-year-old.
Website claims that the stickers can help with a whole range of stuff from improving sleep to curing anxiety. The quote-unquote scientific explanation behind them is that each sticker is a vibrational energy disc which can tap into the body's electromagnetic energy and basically retune you like an old guitar.
Hold on, the paper sticker is going to be tapping into your electromagnetic energy. The paper sticker. Now I'll be the first to admit that I'm not great at physics, but paper, magnetic, I'm sure that there's something in that little equation that doesn't quite add up to magnetism. But like I say, I'm not a physicist.
In other words, your guess is as good as mine. The company is so confident about these abilities that they even put Gwyneth Paltrow and NASA in the same sentence by claiming that the product was made from the same
Yeah,
conductive
course.
material that lines their spacesuits. After being
So you're saying the astronauts want to be magnetic?
called out by the space station, who know of no such material, this was then dismissed as a simple communication error.
Yeah, communication between reality and your claims.
Unsurprisingly, countless doctors, including anti-goop crusader Jen Gunter MD, have explained that there's simply no way to rebalance whatever energy frequencies the sticker claims to target, and it's just a load of hocus pocus. Easy butter.
Well, of course it is. It's made of paper. There's no magnetic value to paper. And even if it was a magnet of some sort or had some type of ability to, I don't know, interact with the magnetic forces around us, how would that in any way affect your health? If you stick a magnet on a joint, then it's argued to make a bit of a difference, but that's not what they're claiming. It's just a sticker for a 5-year-old sold at adult prices.
Butter.
Everyone loves butter, but getting it out of the fridge, out of the wrap, and onto your food is a real hassle. Introducing Easy Butter, the fast, easy, and safe way to cut your butter every day.
That's right, if your arms are growing weary of slicing into an oh-so-solid block of butter, and it looks like Easy Butter
Because
is
that's a
just the
task.
thing for you. This handy contraption is pretty much a stapler for the dinner table that dispenses perfectly square slices of butter with just one easy click. If you're as enthusiastic about butter as this kid,
Kids absolutely love it.
I love butter.
but you suffer terribly from a fear of rogue crumbs and imperfect slicing, then fear not. Why not fiddle about with squeezing the perfect amount of buttery goodness into this enormous plastic casing instead?
I don't know that I've ever had butter in a way that an issued amount would be helpful. So if I'm trying to get a scoop to put it on some bread to make a sandwich, I'm probably going to use more than what that's going to issue, or less, or something like that. I'm going to want to choose the amount. Butter on pasta, don't really do it. To click it out like that onto a jacket potato, then maybe, that might work. But the hassle of trying to clean it back out of that device, rather than just take a scoop and that's it. Never in a million years. And on top of that, I think it's only in the US where you can get the rectangular kind of £1/4 tubes of butter, whatever those weights are. Those thin rectangular strips of butter that you buy in the US, they're only in the US. In the UK we have just normal tubs, usually 500 grams, and that's the same pretty much throughout Europe as well. I think you might be able to get those sticks of butter in a few other places, but I think it's pretty much just a US thing.
Use the second cutter to cut just about anything from cheese to hot dogs to bananas to cucumbers.
If this
Yeah, 'cause
wasn't
you're gonna wanna
nonsense
cut
enough
your hot
already,
dogs with
the
that, aren't you?
commercial goes on to suggest buying a second cutter to
A second one. If you're gullible enough to buy the first, maybe we can con you into buying a second one. But I've got to say that this whole thing, these types of devices, we see loads of them in the UK on YouTube. Devices that are supposed to in some way make your life easier, and almost all of them make whatever the job is that they're claiming to do much more difficult, or add an extra step to a process that didn't need to be there. It's saying, use this device to get out slices of butter rather than just cutting it with a knife and taking off the amount that you want. Like as if it's, I don't know, in some way going to be easier, when it's not, because you've got to buy the device, you've got to clean it, you've got to keep loading it, all the rest of it, rather than just cut off the amount that you need. Now, this isn't a very good example, because this has kind of almost got some use if you're having baked potatoes or a dinner party and you want to look cool. Then I can see a purpose for it. But there's so many different things that we keep seeing across YouTube that come out of American inventions. I'm not on about big inventions, I'm on about this type of stuff, where they end up making whatever problem it is that they're trying to cure a lot more long-winded, a lot more difficult, a lot more expensive than just actually doing it outright. And that's something that we notice in the UK that's coming from America. In the US, do you notice that happens? Is that a big thing there? Is it just that we see a small part of a much bigger thing? Are all of these products actually directed at us? You don't buy or sell them in the US. You just create them in the US and advertise them out to external markets, hoping that somebody's going to buy them. Let me know in the comments which way around it is.
slice other foods from cucumbers to bananas and even hot dogs. Sounds fresh and totally time-saving, right? This product
Yeah,
goes to
right.
great efforts to make one of the easiest everyday tasks seem even easier for no reason other than pure laziness.
Yeah, exactly, and that's my exact point. There's loads and loads of these products where they just make things a lot more cumbersome, a lot more difficult, and a lot more hassle than just actually doing it. And in the UK and YouTube especially, there are hundreds and hundreds of these items. And like I say, they are almost all exclusively from the US. So I'm really interested in whether anybody in the US actually buy these things, and that's why it's then flooding out into external markets, or whether nobody in the US ever buys any of this stuff. You just make it and sell it out to gullible people abroad.
Long Reach Comfort Wipe.
For over 100 years, we've been scrunching and folding toilet paper. Finally, there's a better way. Comfort Wipe, the sanitary paper extension arm and holder. The first improvement to toilet paper as we know it since the 1880s.
Speaking of
Apparently, half the population split into scrunchers and half the population's split into folders. The other group didn't know that the other one existed until just now.
problems that don't really exist, here's a product which has been designed to wipe your butt for you. You know, just in case you can't manage yourself. The Long Reach Comfort Wipe extends your reach by up to 18 inches, as if anyone truly requires such an immense length, so that you can really get those hard-to-reach places without even touching the toilet paper. If you ask me, anything that compares a toilet-based product with a shower brush should definitely be approached with caution.
It's embarrassing to have someone help you with your personal matters. The Comfort Wipe allows you to maintain your dignity.
She said that with almost a straight face. I think that products like that, they're a good idea at the market that they're intended for. People that are massively overweight or severely disabled or something like that. And if they actually worked, then that would be fantastic. But let's face it, that looks like it's as rubbish as, well, its job.
You maintain your personal hygiene.
Probably the most ironic thing about this product is that it claims to help you maintain your dignity, as if crouching precariously over the toilet while trying to grasp tissue with the end of a curved stick is in any way dignified. This product would be ridiculous even if it worked, but as demonstrated by this guy, it takes an unnecessary amount of grappling to even get the device to hold any paper.
Like, you have to really scrunch it in like 1,000 times, but then...
Seriously.
I'll tell you what this reminds me of, what would happen if you try to use that. It reminds me of something that might be exclusively to the UK, but maybe it's other countries as well. At school in the UK, the toilet paper in schools is like rubbish, weird tracing paper. It's closer to greaseproof cooking paper than what it is toilet roll. And it was absolutely useless. That's what I expect would happen with that very odd device. That's a smearer, not a cleaner. After such lovely images, let's see what else they've got.
Just to avoid touching toilet paper. It's almost as if we haven't been doing it for centuries. What happens when you poop in public? Are you supposed to discreetly carry this thing around with you? Scream jar.
Yeah, no
Do
one
you
will notice
struggle
that.
to make it through the day without unleashing deafening screams at any moment? Have you alienated family and friends with your random public outbursts? It seems like all you need is the Scream Silencer Jar, which promises to transform even the loudest scream to a distant whisper. That's right.
Okay, what do you reckon? An American product or a Chinese product? Who bought this one out? The Chinese, Japanese, or Americans? They're my three bets. Put in the comment section before you move on who you think has made this device. My personal bet? It looks like a Japanese product, but I think America.
Next time you feel like running into the backyard, falling to your knees, and yelling to your heart's content, you can just grab this weird plastic terracotta jar instead.
Well, now hang on, there's been two Japanese or Chinese in the pictures. America, you've been let off the hook. It wasn't you.
It makes a great talking point, too. Oh, that
Yeah,
new
that's
vase?
definitely from China
It's actually
or
this
Japan.
thing I scream endlessly into
China
when my
by the
life
looks of it.
feels like it's falling apart.
You didn't even try. Yell real loud.
As you can see, this product doesn't exactly do what it says on the tin. Or should I say jar?
Well, isn't that just going to focus like a beam of sound? Your scream, because yeah, you got a big hole to scream in at one end, but at the other end to let the air come back out, you've got a small pinhole like a laser. Isn't it going to make it so you can almost fire your scream at people? Now that could be a funny use for it. You could be in the office, scream in one end and kind of point it directly at a particular person in your office, and you know that they're going to get it a lot louder than everybody else because you're almost beaming them with the scream. Like a laser.
Because a distinct amount of noise still escapes. Other reviews on Amazon have claimed that this thing has been a total lifesaver when parenting gets a bit too much though. To each their own, I guess, but you're going to look like a total tool either way.
You're telling me that people have actually bought that with the intention of actually really using it, and parents have felt that helpful. I think that if you're resorting to that, then you've got bigger needs and requirements than buying that from wherever these products were from.
Electric Uplift Nose Shaper. Many people believe that a nose job could solve their
I
problems.
think that we
but
can
surgery
guarantee
can
that
be
these
hilly.
are all actually from Wish.com. I can tell because the nose one. You're not going to get that on Amazon, are you? Maybe you do. Maybe everybody's Amazon is a little bit different. Maybe the stuff that you get on Amazon US is going to be different to what we get on Amazon UK and the same throughout other countries. Maybe that's the sort of thing that you're regularly offered in the US when you open up your Amazon page, but I think it's more like a Wish.com.
Expensive. Not to mention the painful recovery time and the procedure itself. Thankfully, you can now cut out all the hassle of a real rhinoplasty by investing just $14 in the Okamo Electric Buzzing Uplift Nose Shaper instead. As if
It buzzes as well. Can you imagine something vibrating on your nose? Now, if you want to sneeze, then that's a perfect device. If you want to do anything other than sneeze, then that's as ridiculous as it looks.
this miniature torture chamber, which looks like something out of a crossover between the Barbie and Saw franchises, claims to reshape the bridge of your nose using vibrations alone.
Let's turn this on. God, that sounds horrendous. It is!
It's really no surprise that the Uplift Nose Shaper in action seems just as useless as one would imagine. Besides
That looks as ridiculous as you would expect it to be. I can't believe that something made to vibrate your nose is actually bought by people, because surely you stick that on your head, it makes your nose itch like crazy. Sounds like you're being attacked, like the picture shows, like a bunch of wasps, and does absolutely nothing towards resculpting your face, on account of that all it does is buzz on your nose.
sounding like a hive of bees has just entered your nostrils, this pink plastic cage is definitely not one size fits all, making it impossible to stay on anyone's face without holding it in place. Again, if you were expecting to get the same results as actual surgery just by sticking a buzzing contraption to your face for 3 minutes,
Oh, they're not making any small claims there. They're not just saying that it's going to, I don't know, make a little difference towards the shape or pitch of your nose or whatever that would be called. They're saying that it's equivalent to having surgery. So sticking that stupid little buzzy thing on the top of your nose is the same as having cosmetic surgery to resculpt your nose for quite a few £1,000s. Oh, in that case, it's a real bargain. I think that I'll buy myself one.
then you probably deserve to be conned by this product. Contact lens jewelry. Any contact lens wearer will tell you that this product is a terrible idea.
How many types of pain does it go through your mind when you look at this here? That pulling on your eye. And imagine having something like that right in front of your eye permanently, and even if that's slightly too close to be able to see, you're going to be feeling this part here dragging down your eyelid. Not to mention this ridiculous thing here tickling your face. I think that most people don't like the idea of sticking anything in their eyes, and even people that wear contact lenses are going to be a little bit reluctant to want to keep putting stuff in their eyes. They probably wear them because it's better than not being able to see. But doing it just to have some sort of weird freaky jewellery, that's not likely. Plus, what about the weight of this? It looks pretty light, but pulling on your eye all of the time, that doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
It's a terrible idea. Who in their right mind has ever loved jewelry so much that they thought, if only there was a way I could decorate my eyeballs too? Even the thought of having a bunch of tiny crystals dangling from a string attached to your iris is enough to make you want to claw your eyes out. And yet, this product,
Looking at the way it is on there, I reckon it's probably light enough to be able to hold in your eye without really noticing it, as long as you can't feel it tickling your eyelid, and it doesn't keep tickling your cheek every time you move, then I guess safety-wise it's probably not too bad. Which then brings you on to the question of why on earth would you put something like that on as a piece of jewellery?
still exists. The unique jewelry was created by Dutch designer Eric Clarenbeek, and I guess it's pretty in a sad emo kind of way.
No, it's not. It's just dodgy. If you went for a meal with somebody at a restaurant, you went out on a date, and the person you're sitting opposite had something like that dangling from their eye, would you be able to look at anything other than that annoying thing dangling from their eye?
Call me crazy, but it seems like there's something dangerously unsafe about the idea of an object, no matter how lightweight, tugging gently at your eyeball.
Yeah,
but
I
then
think
wire
that, yeah.
rubbing against your lower lid has got to be cause for concern too. And what happens if there's a sudden gust of wind? Let's just be thankful the online influencers haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet. Face Slimmer Exercise Mouthpiece.
They
Sites
get
like
worse.
Wish.com are perfect for finding weird and wonderful beauty products at inexpensive prices. But the likelihood of them actually working is slim to none. Take this rubbery pair of lips for example, which allow you to look like a blow-up doll while simultaneously toning your face. Or so they claim. The device simply requires you to chew on the sugar pink mouthpiece like a teething child for 3 minutes a day and promises amazing results. As you can see here though,
I don't know what this is supposed to claim to do, but if it makes you look like that to start with, I don't know what the results are, but they're never going to be worth it. You sure this wasn't sold in a separate little dark section at the back of the website?
this miracle product looks more at home in a horror movie than anywhere in the beauty world.
Do you think anyone actually uses this in earnest? Like they really believe this is going to help them?
If you're wondering whether it actually works, a reporter from the Daily Mail gave the lips a 2-week trial in 2013 and reported no real changes other than making her dribble.
What a clown face. Anyone from the UK might remember on BBC Two when it used to go off air, one of the TV channels, there used to be a picture of a girl sitting there holding some weird doll thing. She looks like that weird doll. That's a really bizarre looking thing. Why would you do that to yourself? Would you really expect that to work? And what is it actually supposed to achieve? Just tensing your chewing muscles? Because eating doesn't do that.
Dribble a lot in the process. Unless you have an unrealized dream of looking like an operatic duck while soaking in the tub, you can probably give this product
She
a
does look
miss.
bad, doesn't she?
Pop heads. Imagine this. Your child
Can we get something worse than that? Probably not.
has been accused of bullying someone at school, and you need a new way to make them realize what it's like to be on the receiving end. But how? Send them to school looking like this. That's how. This is the only use I can think of for this terrible product which goes by the name Pophead. Although perhaps
Is that like an in-hair dunce cap? If anybody played GTA 5 online or anything, then you would have recognised that from the dunce cap, except that one's that's inside your hair.
Pothead would be a more appropriate name
Well, yeah,
because
that as
that's
well.
what you'd have to be to want this unironically.
Place the pop head onto your scalp and start to wrap the hair around the pop head until you can seal it, pulling and smoothing it tightly towards the top of the neck.
If you too want to look like Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch, then all you have to do is stick this brightly colored plastic cone to your scalp and wrap your hair around it as if you've been struck by lightning. Considering it's a fairly simple device, the pop head does achieve the desired look, but as you can
It looks pretty stupid, but it does what they're claiming.
see here, it's not nearly as neatly put together as the box would have you believe.
Looking good. I feel like my hair is like a compass now. Like, which way do you want to go?
Can you imagine going out with her for a day or something? What you're going to be transfixed on is her freaky hair and a weird eye jewellery. If you ever go out with somebody that's dressed themselves up from Wish.com, you're going to be in for a real night. Somebody should buy all of these different products from Wish.com. Their pointy head thing, the eye jewellery, the duck mouth, all of the really bizarre stuff. They should put them all on and go out for an evening somewhere. Get somebody to film you so that we can all laugh. But I think that would be quite a funny one. That should be a trend that runs through YouTube. How many weird Wish.com products you can go out wearing all at the same time and keep a straight face, unless of course you're wearing the duck mouth.
West, east.
Pop it, pal. No matter how gross
What?
it sounds, there are plenty of people who can't get enough of popping a good spot.
That's just gross.
One woman even made an entire TV career out of it. If your skin is just too clear to get your much needed dose of satisfying action, then you can just head on over to Wish.com and grab yourself one of these bad boys. This fleshy brick is supposed to simulate
That is just outright filth. Surely there's not enough people out there that's bizarre enough to want to keep squeezing spots or other people's spots or whatever filth that comes under to actually make a product for it.
real human skin and comes with a vial of silica gel or pus which you can inject into it and then squeeze it out over and over again to your heart's content. When it comes to a product like this, you're either gonna love it or hate it, and I have to say, it does look pretty fun. I do have to wonder what our ancestors would think. Hair dryer bonnet hood. Is looking perfectly sensible while drying your hair getting you down? Are you sick and tired of having to wave the hairdryer around your head all the time? Thankfully, you can now look like a vintage Doctor Who villain while achieving maximum laziness after every shower,
What do you mean vintage? They're still in the new ones.
thanks to the hairdryer bonnet hood. Made from what looks like the flimsiest material known to man, this simple attachment inflates like a bounce house around your head and is sure to fry your hair in no time. Or maybe not.
That looks really effective. You can almost see no moisture in the hair whatsoever. Surely that's just a stupid idea. The reason why it dries your hair when you're blowing it with a hairdryer is because it fluffs it around and gets underneath your hair and that sort of stuff. Blows your hair around. Do you think they're just trying to copy those weird things you used to have in the 60s hair salons? Them big dryer things that they used to slot over people's heads? But weren't they used to infuse curls or do something like that? But nobody knows exactly what the big hairdryer looking things in the salons were used for, whether they really were just a hairdryer or if they were used to try and kind of, I don't know, set in curls or something like that. Then put it to the comment section.
Whether you're lounging around the house or you just can't be bothered to raise your arms anymore, you can get that perfect bird's nest look for a fraction of the salon price. You might just have to wait a while. Camel balls. When you're coming up with a new candy brand, one of the main requirements should probably be that it's kid-friendly. But that didn't stop someone from creating camel balls. These bubbles.
Why would you do that? Who sat down thinking, I know what people would really like to eat? Extra sour tasting camel balls. That's what I think I'm going to make. Of all the different ideas, of all the different sweets, I think the thing that I really want to concentrate on and go through manufacturing and printing and creating a whole new product in is a version of camel balls that somebody can put in their mouth and eat. Who sat down and did that? What sort of day was you having when that was the best idea of the day and you actually ran with it? What a bizarre world we live in.
Bubblegum balls definitely take after their namesake, which is pretty evident from the unsettling mascot sported on the front of the box. To make matters worse, each ball is liquid-filled and extra sour, which I...
Liquid-filled, as if they hadn't gone gross enough already, they made them liquid-filled. Is there no end to this?
I hope isn't an effort to simulate the experience of actually chomping down on a real camel's testicle. Thankfully, online reviewers like this guy have reported that they actually taste pretty good. Not that it makes the whole charade any less disturbing.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're just normal tasting, alright tasting candy. But usually candy is, I don't know, a round lollipop or the shape of a piece of pizza or the shape of a piece of melon. Not many of them tend to be the shape of a camel's balls or anybody else's balls, because that doesn't usually make the most appetizing sweet product for your children or adults.
No, sir. You taste alright.
Speaking of disturbing food products, check out this absurdly useless pre-cracked egg. The people on the packaging clearly think it's an excellent idea, but wouldn't it be great if nature created its own protective packaging for eggs instead? Just like oranges or bananas. Thankfully, this does seem a little too ridiculous to be anything more than an elaborate joke, but judging by some of the other products on this,
even if that wasn't a joke, which it probably isn't, they're probably really trying to sell them, would you buy that? Would you trust a pre-cracked egg that doesn't even have a real proper kind of date attached to it? Yeah, you got one on the front of that packaging, but does that really genuinely reflect what's inside it? Probably not. And even if you bought it as a joke, and even with the date that's on it and stuff, would you have eaten that egg? Rather you than me.
This list, who knows? Which of these totally ridiculous products would you...
Okay, they're obviously at the end of their video. I know that there's a few of these in a row, but we're only going to cover one for now. If you like this video, then click the thumbs up and I'll make a few more of them. So what about the products that we've covered in here? How stupid do you think they are? Or do you think that they're really good ideas? Do you want to buy yourself a pad of spot squishing puss or whatever that filth was? Or do you fancy buying yourself a duck mouth? How about vibrating your nose until it makes you sneeze? Or maybe you would rather run out to the shops and get yourself a nice bag of camel's balls to munch on. Okay, tell me what you think about this video. If there's anything that you've come across which is even more bizarre than the things that we've featured here, and let me know if you want to see any more like this. Well, thank you for watching, we'll see you next time.